Ano na, maraming takers yan, maski lang pool number. Kaya lang, it's not a durable material if reduced to numbers. Kasi, I don't know why, but that's the way it goes. Medyo hindi maganda for on a long-term basis. You can continue.
Yes, next slide, please. So, ito yung effects naman on lifelines. This was already reported previously, Mr. President. Ongoing ang restoration of power as well as water and telco service. Next slide, please. Cost of damage is now at 16.9 billion for the infrastructures dahil sa kasiraan, 460 infrastructures and 7.6 billion for agriculture, 597,000 houses damage. Ito yung mga tulong na, next slide please, mga activities ng iba't ibang ahensya, Mr. President, or likewise already reported to in the earlier meetings. Next slide, please. So, ito yung updates namin sa inyong mga priority directives. Next slide. Organization designating Secretary Bautista as the head of the crisis management team under the National Disaster Risk Reduction Management Council being headed by Secretary Lonsana as chairperson. This is aligned also with our response cluster system. At the national level, it is being headed by Secretary Bautista with the OCD administrator, myself, as providing operational support. And this structure is being replicated in all the regions affected. In Caraga, no less than Undersecretary Bujungan of SWD is heading the regional crisis management team, and backing him up is Director Lisa Mazo, the regional director of OCD in Caraga. In Region 7, Assistant Secretary Rudy Cabo is the head of the regional crisis management team, and is being backed up by the regional director of OCD, Director Marlo Salazar. In all the other regions affected, the heads of the crisis management team at the regional directors of PSWD, backed up by the regional directors of OCD. Next slide, please. Providing the platform or venue for coordination and meetings of the crisis management team at the command and control centers at the national as well as in the regional level. And we have also 3 emergency logistics hubs activated. Next slide, please. These are the assets that we are using, civilian as well as military, land, air, and sea transportation assets, including from the World Food Program. Next slide.
May directive ako na yung presidential yacht, yung Pangulo, tumuloy sa Siagor area to be used as a hospital. Hindi ko na nakita, but nandoon ako parang na ba yung ang Pangulo?
Comment. Yes, sir. As of the last report, it's still serving the people of Siagao.
That is a presidential jet which I never used. Kasi pangalan pa lang yate. So, the mga disaster, they should be there. Set sail doon sa mga area so that they can be easily converted into many hospitals where yung na-injured pwedeng magtira doon muna while being treated. And hindi ko kasi wala akong nakita na Pero I'm sure I gave the order. And I've heard that nandoon na raw sa visit in Siargao.
It is in Siargao, Mr. President. In fact, malaking bagay yun dahil dun sa nagkaroon ng spike ng diarrhea. So, yung presence ng mga medical personnel ng presidential niya ay malaking bagay para pagsilbihan ng mga kababayan natin sa Siargao, Mr. President.
Well, that's good. I'm very happy to hear it. Pero may nagsabi na sa akin, I forgot who, but here sa itong opisina natin na nandoon na raw. So I just want to confirm. They should stay there for as long as it is needed by the populace. They should be there. Total, wala naman trabaho yan. Parking lang for the 6 years of my presidency. Hindi man nagamit yan minsan. Kaya lang, itong mga ganitong sitwasyon, yun ang dapat the best use for it is really to be a shelter for those unfortunate, those who are sick and unfortunate countrymen of ours can seek sanctuary.
Yes, sir. We will submit a special report on the activities of BRP Pangulo, Mr. President.
Okay.
Next slide, please. Utilizing those transportation assets, we now have delivered 4,154,607 kilograms of relief goods. And that includes 339,000 liters of bottled drinking water, Mr. President. Next slide, please. Ito yung distribution ng humanitarian assistance provided to the regions affected. Base sa record ng DSWD, a total of 261 million pesos from DSWD, from LGU 58 million, from NGOs 1 million plus, and other providers 12,000, for a total of 321 billion pesos cost of assistance. Next slide, please. On the distribution of family food packs from the SWD, total of 401,501 family food packs. Most of this went to Region 7, Region 8, and Caraga region. Next slide, please. The distribution of bottled waters and gensets is as shown. This morning, Mr. President, there was a flight of cargo airplane delivering 59 gensets to Bohol, and that was received by the governor. Yeah. Next slide, please. This is the rate for shelter assistance, 5,000 per damaged house, to be given by both NSA and DSWD. They have an arrangement that NSA will take care of the areas in Region 4B, Region 9, and Region 10, while DSWD will take care of the areas in Region 6, 7, 8, and Caraga. And as I have said earlier, we have organized a shelter cluster co-headed by NSA and the SWD with the support of all other agencies. Next slide, please. On our monitoring of donations, 113 government agencies provided assistance, 163 private donors, and these donations were brought to the following 9 provinces affected. Bohol, Cebu, Southern Leyte, Negros Oriental, Negros Occidental, Palawan, Surigao, Siargao, and Pinagatan. And 18 countries offered assistance, 9 of which were already accepted. They are from Japan, China, Korea, US, the ASEAN AHA Center, UN, OSHA, Israel, Hungary, and Switzerland. Next slide, please. Ito yung timeline namin in the conduct of post-disaster risk assessment because eventually when our response is scaling down, we will focus now on the full rehabilitation and recovery. Nagsimula na sir noong December 27 with the activation and organization of teams composing the PDN, teams for the conduct of PDNA, as well as compilation of baseline data. And yun ay natapos hanggang 3 January and they move on to the assessment and validation of damage and losses, analysis of sectoral impacts, estimation of needs, development of recovery framework, analysis of financing options, the drafting of implementation plan and the drafting of the PDN report and the comprehensive rehabilitation recovery plan. And the timeline, the deadline for that is 31 January, the end of January, Mr. President. And we hope to present the PDN report and the draft comprehensive rehabilitation recovery plan on 18 February, Mr. President, to the National Disaster Risk Reduction Management Council. And we'll be glad to be able to present that also to the President himself.
Well, anyway, I have a plan to go there again to make a review and see if my orders were followed. So gusto ko lang tignan yung what was the progress of government intervention there. Bibisitahan ko lahat yan ulit. Maybe middle of second or third quarter of January. So, yun na ba? Is that all?
Next slide, please.
So, meron pa.
So, this is our last slide, Mr. President. We will sustain the relief operations and likewise ensure that all your instructions are carried out. And we have to complete the restoration of all those affected pipelines and implementation of shelter assistance and the grants, gas assistance being extended by the ILG, or rather by the LGUs under the supervision of the ILG. And of course, the conduct of post-disaster risk assessment and drafting of the rehabilitation recovery plan. That's all, Mr. President. Thank you.
General Alad, let me thank you and congratulate you for a very job well done. Just continue with itong pakabul na ngayon to see to it that everything I said is in place. Tsaka gusto kong malaman kung nasunod ba yung utos ko. Anyway, we will have a sort of an assessment after I shall have visited those places in January, second or third quarter, maybe. Inshallah. Thank you. Who else
Thank you very much, Mr. President.
Who else has to make a report? Si is it Undersecretary Gavin?
Yes, Mr. President.
Kumusta yung pera natin?
I have a report, Mr. President, on behalf of my principal, Secretary Dominguez. It will be 2 parts, Mr. President. What the DOF has done in connection with the rehabilitation caused by debt. Second part will be what Rodrigo is doing in connection with the COVID response. So in connection with the funding for debt, Mr. President, the instructions was for the department to look for 10 billion pesos by way of funding. And I'm glad to report, Mr. President, that last December 27, we were able to draw on the loan from the World Bank in the sum of 80 million, that is around 40 billion pesos, 4 billion pesos, Mr. President. It was drawn last December 27. And within the week, we will draw again $120 million from the same loan facility from World Bank. That's equivalent to 6 billion to fund the rehabilitation and recovery efforts of in connection with the debt. Commissioner Billy Dulay issued also a revenue regulation extending tax deadlines for 6 regions that were affected by the typhoon and other state of calamity. He extended the deadline for 1 month. If the deadline was supposed to be December, Mr. President, the taxpayers are given an additional 1 month to file whatever needs to be filed before December. The Combili and Secretary Dominguez can extend that depending on the circumstances. In connection with the COVID response, Mr. President, and to support the effort of Sec Charlie, Sec Duque, and Sec Vince, the DOF will be signing, has actually signed a total of $800 million for booster shots, Mr. President. The 250 million has been signed with the ADB. Another 250 million, Mr. President, from AIIB. These were signed last year, and we're just waiting for the opinion of the DOJ for the effectivity of the loan. Later this month, Mr. President, we are going to sign a 300 million loan with World Bank, and we expect everything we expect for it to be effective around towards the latter part of January. So that will give us funds to purchase our COVID booster shots, Mr. President. And lastly, I'm glad to report that through the efforts of ComJagger, the Bureau of Customs have cleared, as of December 30, 2021, a total of 210,448,870 doses of vaccine. The Bureau of Customs was able to clear all shipments within the day and bring it to the warehouse facility to prevent spoilage. So that's my report on behalf of the Department of Finance, Mr. President. And again, we reiterate our support, continuing support to the President and all the cabinet secretaries to fulfill the mission and vision of your administration. Thank you, sir.
Yes, thank you. That's a very splendid achievement, actually, with the loans granted to us geared to the rehabilitation of the destruction caused by typhoon. That would be enough really for everybody to have an elbow room, enough leeway sa buhay nila na makapagtindig ng bahay. That's a lot of money, and if it is properly used, and well, I am sure that it will make the life of many Filipinos out there better than yesterday. Thank you for your information and the money that you are bringing in. Salamat. Is there any other? Wala na? It's 12:15. So let's call it a day. At least we have reported to the people. Ikaw, Secretary, wala na? I said, alam na mga reported to the people really the state of affairs of the nation and how we are coping up or responding to the challenges of governance. Give as a parting statement, I'd like to thank the different charitable institutions, persons, associations, whatever their nature or whatever is the organization is all about. Yung mga, pati yung mga tao na private individuals and entities who really contributed to fund the rehabilitation or the emergency use of the money to make the load, the burden on the shoulders of the people that are out there more lighter to bear as the day progresses. So, mayroon tayong pera. I think that kayo kung nakikinig ngayon, kung naminaw, lahat of Bisaya, Sergio, naminaw ka ron, nakikinig kayo, may pera tayo para itabang sa inyo a sort of a help really, and we will thank the how would I the almost charitable spirit of World Bank na magpapahiram ng pera for this cause. Maraming salamat sa inyo, World Bank, at hindi kami matakot baski anong dadaan sa Pilipinas. Basta yung pera available lang yan para tulong. I-reserva mo lang ang Pilipinas na malaging, kasi delikado talaga ang. I hope that there would no longer be a typhoon. Are we on the month of typhoons or not? Yun yung wayward lang yung Odette. I hope it would not repeat kasi medyo mahirapan tayo ng konti. May pera nga naman, the institutions responded, both the World Bank and itong mga partner dito. I'd like to thank the cabinet members, all of them, who have helped in one way or the other to enable the people to stand again sa buhay nila. So with that, I'd like to say maraming salamat sa nakinig sa amin at sana nalaman ninyo kung saan talaga ang pera ninyo bumabagsak. Maraming salamat po.
Salamat po.
Happy New Year!
Never answer. Di ba sa Sona? Sona 2021? Sa YouTube. Daw? Sona? Ano ito ka na? Ito na lang.
Saturday na lang, Sona.